Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're giving it to you straight. Based on over 40 years of living here, and for me, over 20 years of helping people just like you make big moves. Because aren't buying and selling a home some of the most important things that you're ever going to do in your life? You know, there are some real pros and cons to living in Mira Mesa, and you clicked on this video because you're getting hyper focused about where you want to live and move to. So we're not going to waste your time with any of that fluff. Let's go. By the way, I'm Lynnor Anderson. I'm your San Diego realtor, and I'm partners with my dad, Lyle. So there are three major pros about Mira Mesa that we're going to cover. The first pro is the location. Mira Mesa is one of the few communities in San Diego right now that's smack dab in the middle of multiple exploding job markets. In nearly every direction that you look, you've got tech, bio, science, industry, job sectors that are taking off around here in places like Sereno Valley, University Town Center, Poway, and Rancho Bernardo. Plus, Mira Mesa is centrally located as far as North County communities go. So it's situated between four major highway systems. The 5 and the 15 are heading north and south, along with the 56 and the 52 that head east and west. And due to its location, the weather is great. It's not too hot, not too cold, what I would call Goldilocks weather. Spring and summer mornings are cool, just like today, due to being just a few miles off the coast. So that well-known May gray and June gloom, it'll burn off by midday. And the canyon breezes are refreshing year-round. Now, when the dog days of summer hit the county, all bets are off. Our whole region gets a heat wave and Santa Ana winds. And guys, there's really nowhere to hide when that hits. San Diego County as a whole is going to be hot for a few days. It's not a bad trade-off for the rest of the year, though. They don't call it sunny San Diego for nothing. The second pro that we're covering is the appreciation of property values. We said it in the last Mira Mesa video that we shot a year or so back. The Mira Mesa housing market is on fire. And guys, it's only gotten hotter since then. Last year, when we looked at the numbers, the median single-family home was at $999,995. And today, that number is now at $1,248,888, a jump in value of nearly $250,000, and that's only in about 1 year's time. Now, condos were at $858,000 last year, and now that median list price is at $697,000. A jump of $112,000 in value. So if you have been watching our videos for any length of time, here is that repeat message that you've heard before, but I think it's really important that people hear it. Buy whatever you can afford while you still can before you're priced out of the market. Hey, even if that means that you go out and you buy a 1-bedroom, 1-bath place to get your foot in the door and ride the appreciation wave that's going on, because Mira Mesa's market is on fire. And if it cools off, we're just not going to see a substantial drop in value that all those buyers have been wishing for. There is just way too much demand. And we don't want you to have one of those I should have, when I could have conversations with yourself down the road. So the big question really is, why are we seeing such a jump in values? Well, some are actually comparing and forecasting Mira Mesa's growth and home value increases to what happened back in the day when the Apple campus went into Cupertino up in the Bay Area. Think about what happened up there, where you had the local community all around the campus and its surrounding communities explode due to the job growth. Not just because of Apple, though. Think about all the other businesses that came along. Gyms, restaurants, shopping, daycare centers, catering and event companies. The list is endless. People are expecting a similar thing to happen down here in San Diego when you got employers like Pfizer, Qualcomm, Samsung, Sony, Intuit, Texas Instruments, and Apple in the surrounding neighborhoods around Mira Mesa. And we know firsthand because we actually helped a scientist and a doctor who both work at the Pfizer location in La Jolla. Both bought their first homes here in San Diego recently. So I'm guessing that you probably have heard the news. Apple bought a 67-acre lot in Rancho Bernardo for $445 million a few years back. What's happened up in the Bay Area around Cupertino, it's starting to happen here too, guys. There are worse things that you could do with your money than invest in anything around this part of San Diego. get in while you still can, right? So if you are looking for a hot spot to invest and move to, Mira Mesa could be a great fit. And words are one thing, but let me show you what I mean. A weekend or so back, we toured an open house here, and it's a typical cookie cutter tract home, built in '83, single story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot home. That when it was first built was going for around $85,000. Guys, this property was listed at $865,000, and it's a cosmetic fixer. We were there for maybe 10 minutes and 7 groups of people went through the home all at the same time. It was non-stop open house traffic all day on Saturday and Sunday. Offers are typically collected until Monday on a hot property like this. Well, that was not the case here. The MLS remarks were revised to say that the seller would select an offer by Sunday night at 5 p.m. Remember, even if 100 people go through an open house, only one family can buy it. So fielding 10, 20, or even more offers doesn't do all that much good. The fact is that demand is high and inventory is low. But here is the point that I really want to make. This property was owned by an original family that paid about $85,000 for it back in 1983 and listed it as a cosmetic fixer at $865,000. They got so many offers that they closed the offer period early. We were checking it out for a client and they asked our opinion on what it would go for. Well, I said at least $100,000 over list price. Some of the realtor resources that we use say so much as $1 million. So even if this sells at list price at $865,000, that means over the last 41 years, it's appreciated $780,000 or 10 times as much as what it cost when the family first bought it. You think that original owner family is smiling like ear to ear? This is why my dad coined that phrase that we live in real estate Disneyland. This is why we mentioned in our last video about Mira Mesa that if you own a property there, it may be in your best interest to never sell it. Rent out that property and keep that appreciation rolling. There will be a time in the future when homes just like that one are worth twice as much. Imagine that. Over $2 million for tract houses in Mira Mesa. Mark my words. And here is an insider tip that you need to know. It isn't just Mira Mesa. It's all of this section of the Freeway 15 corridor. Scripps Ranch, Rancho Penasquitos, Poway, Ranch Bernardo are all on fire simply because of supply and demand. More people want to live here. Here are the current active listings in each of those communities. You can clearly see there are not enough homes on the market. Poway has 38 homes. Mira Mesa only has 18. Rancho Bernardo East has 42 listings. West Rancho Bernardo has 12. Rancho Penasquitos has 18, tied with Mira Mesa, and Scripps Ranch has 20. 148 properties total. Not nearly enough inventory for the buyer pool. And folks, this is what's driving up prices higher and higher. Now, here's another insider tip that everyone needs to hear. Do not fool yourself. If you think you're going to step into this or any market in San Diego and steal a property, think again. Your cash offer, quick close, it might make it to the top of the offer pile, but you're going to be able to expect a counter offer. Yep, usually you're going to get a counter offer for your highest price and best terms. Congratulations. You made it to the next round of bidding, right? See for yourself. Sellers are in the driver's seat. They're getting multiple offers over list price, and the homes that sit for a little longer on the market, say a few weeks to a month, they will not take your lowball offers either. Instead, they'll just sit and wait for a buyer to step up to the list price. It's happening right now. This is based on experience with the past couple handful of transactions that we've been working on. In fact, sellers would rather lower a list price a little bit on a stagnant property and open that property up to all of the buyer pool instead of taking your 5 to 10% under a list price offer. If you want more insight and honesty about market conditions, just reach out to us. There really is just way too much to cover on this topic. And I know your attention span is a little short. Our contact info is down below. Now let's cover another amazing aspect of Mira Mesa. You've got excellent amenities. nearly all the bases are covered. Good schools, shopping, dining, and outdoor recreation. We mentioned the weather due to its location. Speaking of location, say you're on the corner of Mira Mesa Boulevard and the 15 freeway. You're about 20 minutes to Torrey Pines State Beach. It's not too bad for a non-coastal community. Need to get downtown where the airport's at? You're about a half an hour out with no traffic. The schools have high ratings, A's and B's according to niche.com. And because Mira Mesa is a melting pot of culture and diversity, you're going to find a wide range of delicious dining options and specialty stores. Plus, you got all of the big retailers and food options here too. So, outdoorsy folks feel right at home. You've got a ton of organized kids sports, plus biking, hiking, golf, and fishing. They're all close by. But guys, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are a few things that Mira Mesa is known for, and you need to be aware of them. The first thing that you need to know is that Mira Mesa is congested. Hey, when we lived there 40 years ago, it was starting to get congested. There was plenty of land for housing tracts to go in, and in the mid 80s, families were actually camping out in front of the housing tracts in their RVs, waiting for their homes to be finished so they can move in. It was pretty wild. By the time that I was going to college, we actually lived in Rancho Penasquitos, and I was going all the way down to the end of Mira Mesa Boulevard in Sereno Valley 20 years ago. The traffic lights along Mira Mesa Boulevard were a nightmare to get through. Fast forward to now. Well, now there's a new community plan that's in the works that will change the landscape yet again by infilling the mixed-use areas with smaller residences. If you live here now, you know how congested things are currently. So this will be a shocker. They actually plan on alleviating congestion with flex lanes for buses by using the left and right shoulders of the main thoroughfares during certain hours of the day. And that is not all, folks. Carroll Canyon Road will accommodate express buses and an aerial skyway to connect the community to the Mid-Coast Trolley Extension. They aren't lying when they say they are forcing us out of our cars here in San Diego. So the second con that you have to understand is that there are very few subdivisions in Mira Mesa that have HOAs. So I kind of look at this as a double-edged sword. Nobody wants an HOA telling you what time your trash cans need to be in by on the day that trash is picked up, or whether you can park your own car in your own driveway or not. But the flip side to that is HOAs do maintain a certain quality, look, and conformity to a neighborhood. And well, that just isn't the case in all of Mira Mesa's neighborhoods. Hey, if your neighbor wants to paint their house a really bright color, or park their boat on their front lawn, or not maintain their yard for years, well, you are going to see that happening in certain parts of Mira Mesa. Now, the most important thing you need to be made aware of, the number one con, is the high cost of entry to move into the area. And it's not just Mira Mesa, not just North County along the 15 corridor, but all over San Diego. So we got a question on our video recently that we did. George asked, how in the heck do people afford houses? They cost more than most people have in their retirement accounts. You know, he's right. We responded with the fact that most buyers start out small with an entry-level property, utilizing that principle of leverage by using the smallest amount of down payment to control the largest asset that they can, and allowing that strong and steady appreciation that we see in San Diego's real estate market help them get to the next level, moving their way up the housing ladder, so to speak. You can do it too. There are more affordable places in San Diego, because the further that you're going to get away from the nucleus of San Diego proper, the more affordable property values become. So if you are just getting started, or already planning your move, or are you ready to hit the streets in search of your perfect place, reach out to us. We'd love to help you with your upcoming move, just like we're doing day in and day out for all of the other people who have contacted us after watching these videos. Hey, here are a couple of more videos that we shot about Mira Mesa recently. I hope that you really appreciate our honest insight from our years of experience in this market. Thanks for joining me in my backyard this morning, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.